offered consistently to non-POA members. It's just, we're running a special this month.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, it isn't.
I know people who don't know about this.
Well, those people are misinformed. We came up with a separate membership card for people who buy an annual golf membership so that the servers could tell they were the people who got the 15% discount. They have a different member number than the rest of us. So the people who are paying for an annual golf membership to get the 15% has been a policy for 4 or 5 years, and it's indicated by that membership card. If we cut that out, then those people may decide, I'm not going to come here to play golf or to eat, and we're going to lose all of the money they're spending in the club and all of the money they're paying for a golf membership. I think the idea is silly.
Is there any way to separate a 15% discount? Because I agree we need to address the pool situation, but then the 15% discount's lumped in there, and I don't agree of taking that away. So are you wanting to keep this whole like it is? Or I think that if you piecemealed it, you would probably get a lot more success on the pool atmosphere rather than lumping two things that people have strong opinions on that don't really go together. A 15% discount at a club has nothing to do with pool access. Just my opinion.
Well, I mean, I'd rather have something pass than nothing pass, obviously. But again, I can tell you, there are many POA, non-POA members who don't know about this deal because they were never told about the deal, so therefore that could not have been an incentive to them to make the deal.
Okay, well, I think we've heard several opinions. Does anybody who hasn't spoken have something they'd like to say? I think we need to go to call the vote on this motion. We've heard both sides that are very, very adamant on the thoughts. Anybody that I've left out? Okay. So I'm calling the vote on the motion to adopt the policy with the benefit of a discount for club and other purchases at the POA, currently 15%, be limited to POA members in good standing, and access to pool amenities be limited to POA members in good standing and guests accompanying and in the presence of POA member. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? Okay, I'm sorry, the motion was defeated. Perhaps we have some more work to do here. Next motion, to adopt the following. The POA shall waive its fee for the consolidation of 2 contiguous lots when one of those lots is purchased from the POA after the effective date of this action and the resulting combined lot is subject to a self-renewing real property covenant, providing that the owner of the lot be a dues-paying member of the POA. Who's making that motion?
I am.
Mr. Pino, who's seconding that motion?
I will second it.
Director Tubbs? Okay, thank you. Tell us some more about this, please.
Well, the POA owns several building lots, and it does not want to own building lots, so it gives away the ones that we think are unbuildable or the ones that are needed for drainage to the city, but the other ones we sell. There's a lot of people out there who would like to buy a POA building lot, but they don't want to buy them because they would have to then pay dues on a second lot, and if they do not, they would be considered a member and not in good standing for all purposes, and therefore lose their rights to use any of the amenities. So it's kind of a catch-22. So what I have proposed, and the motion states, is that in the situation where we have a lot, a building lot, that is contiguous to a member in good standing, that the person can buy that lot and we will waive our consolidation fees so that those 2 lots become one lot and only one set of dues is required to be paid to be in good standing. So in other words, you're not going to be stuck with the catch-22 of if I buy a second lot, I owe a second dues. It only works if the lots are contiguous because the key is that we're going to consolidate them. Of course, if you want to buy a lot without consolidating and deal with multiple dues payments, that's fine. You don't have to do this, but if you're next door to a lot that you would like to buy, and if it's contiguous, and if you're paying dues now, when the dust settles, you'll still pay one set of dues, but you'll have more property. If you're not paying dues now, you would have to pay dues going forward on one lot. Very simple motion. I think it would incentivize, at least to some extent, the sale of the building lots that we have in inventory that we do not want to have in inventory.
Do you recall quickly the cost of consolidation? You said that this is cost neutral?
I thought it was, the consolidation costs were, what, $2,500 or something like that, $3,000?
Yeah, I thought closer to 1,500.
Whatever that is,
Whatever the surveys cost.
but so we would not collect that consolidation fee, but then again, we're not making the sale because no one's buying them. So you're not losing, you're not coming out of pocket a consolidation fee. What you're doing is you're gaining the sale of a building lot that we don't want to have.
Okey-dokey. Any comments? Who would like to comment on it?
I'd like to know how many lots are we talking about?
Well, we're
Do we
talking-
know how many lots we got? I mean,
We've got, at the end of this thing, we'll have probably around 70 lots or so.
70 lots.
But they're not all adjacent to somebody else.
They're all over the place.
You,
I'm sorry, ma'am, no, we need to maintain our discussion here. Sorry.
you would also still be able to, if you were to choose to pay and not have to go this route, I'm guessing?
Well, today, you can buy any lot you want that we have for sale, right?
But not that, I'm saying to consolidate. If you wanted to consolidate and go the original route that's in place today, you could still do that.
Yes.
Okay.
This only affects the 70 lots we've got.
It only affects the 70 building lots we have, and every lot is contiguous to another lot, so all 70 of those lots would be subject to this.
But it's only the 70, I want to make sure it's only the 70 lots we have right now. And we're not voting on something else, because I've seen some correspondence about taking parts of the golf course and turning them into lots and selling those, and I want to make sure I'm not voting on that.
No, this is there's no subterfuge here to sell additional lots. But what this is we have building lots, and when we have building lots for sale, we're going to make them available to a contiguous lot owner, waive the consolidation fee, impose one set of dues, not multiple sets of dues, going forward. Now, you raise another issue, and we can talk about whether or not that should be a building lot that should be for sale. But as of today, I'm not sure what the status of that is, but this is for the building lots that we have for sale. And that list is going to change from time to time.
Any other comments? Who else has, yes?
Yes, Nancy.
Something?
Well, we want to also consider that we have a large number of members that own adjacent lots. They're paying their POA dues on the property they live on, but they're in arrears on the property next door that's adjoining. Well, we want to offer them a one-time opportunity to do the same procedure. Go ahead and put them in.
Would that fit into your motion, Mr. Pino?
If they own both lots already, it wouldn't fit into my motion, but I don't know why subsequent action, if we decide to make it available to more people under more circumstances, that we couldn't do that.
So are you saying in the rears
It
from,
would be a one-time opportunity. If you own two lots, you're living on one, and next door, you're not paying your dues. Give you the opportunity to make the same purchase and go ahead and join in together with no consolidation fees, but they're in perpetuity from then on paying their dues.
I think we'd have to make that as a totally separate motion
so
and
just
make
to be
it
clear, okay.
a policy that way, if that's what we would decide. Yes, sir, can you help us?
I think there's a little bit of confusion, and maybe it's on my part, between the consolidation fee and the obligation to pay dues. This motion is simply to waive the consolidation fee. Is that correct?
Well, this would do two things, really. It would waive the consolidation fee, but it's already our policy that for all of the lots that we have for sale, that when we sell them, we impose a perpetual dues paying restriction. So someone who has, let's say, a lot in an expired area, and they buy one of our lots, which is also in an expired area, but we're going to make it a dues-paying lot by covenant, consolidate them, so those two lots are now one paying lot, required to be paid lot.
But if Ronnie's, I do agree that Ronnie's would have to be separate, because his was really talking about a person
Existing.
being in arrears on dues.
Exactly, yeah.
Separate issue from.
And that's a whole other can of worms on the issue of multiple lots and members in good standing. One of the ways to fix that is what Ronnie has suggested.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll call the motion then. So the motion is to adopt the fact that the POA shall waive its fee for the consolidation of two contiguous lots when one of those lots is purchased from the POA after the effective date of this action, and the resulting combined lot is subject to a self-renewing real property covenant, providing that the owner of the lot be a dues-paying member of the POA. All those in favor? And all those opposed? I don't see any opposed. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Well, the next one just is pretty easy because it says I'm going to do this. A motion by President Sislo to approve the charter of the Membership and Bylaws Revision Committee. That charter is provided for you. Would someone second that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Giarusso. We were charged, this committee was charged with setting up that charter. We did meet. You can see the details of it. We have alluded a little bit to some of the challenges that go along with trying to make some of the decisions and the problems we're having with the bylaws. So that will be the function of this committee. Are there any questions? Comments?
But this is a committee that's going to report to the board about
Definitely.
its findings.
Definitely. It will not do any actions without bringing it to the board.
I just want to make sure.
Yep, nope.
That's what it said.
Nope. Coming right here after this group talks. Any other comments or concerns? All those in favor of accepting this charter and the membership, raise your hand, please. All in favor, thanks. The motion passes. Motion 2025. The motion is that any and all authority heretofore granted to any board member or staff member to solicit from or convey to the city any information regarding the potential conveyance of certain amenities, regardless of how authorized, be withdrawn, and a committee for the study of conveyances be established with the following members. Director Pino as chair, President Sislo as secretary, Treasurer Blackwood, and Director Nutting as members. The committee shall submit its proposed charter within 30 days. Again, there's some supporting information in the minutes to say we're trying to really manage this authority, do the right thing. We have in our charter and our requirements of functioning that we must provide the Purcell Corporation with the right of first refusal of any amenities that we might be thinking of moving to someone else. In order to do that, we have to have an offer for them to decide whether they will take or refuse. So in some respects, it just turns around a little bit some of the wording that we've been doing as we were working with the city, and just making sure that we cross all our T's, dot all our I's, and do this the right way, so that we don't get into any legal action that holds us up for the next 50 years. Any comments or questions anyone has?
Did you actually ask for a motion in a second?
Oh, I thought I said I motioned, but oops, I didn't get a second.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you for seconding. That would be a problem. That would be bad. So I've gone ahead with my discussion. What other comments or questions you'll have?
The same as Bob asked, this committee would answer to the board, correct?
Definitely answer to the board. No committee has its own action. Anybody else?
The committee would draft its own charter like the membership and bylaws committee, and I would expect that in that charter, it would say that they will report and make recommendations to the board, and then the board approves that. It's not in there, next meeting, I expect you to approve the charter.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? We have one opposed, ex officio Becker. Okay, the motion passes. POA, let's see. So we have any POA members' comments on non-agenda items?
We do. First up, Donna Getty.
Another timer.
Oh, stop.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to address that, my feelings on how the pools are. We talked a little bit about it earlier, going back to the card thing. My main thing was the tablets. I agree with Michael about getting the pool attendants back. I think that we're lacking that quality that we've had before for many years. Where we don't have, I've seen people moving umbrellas themselves, moving broken tables themselves. This was just over the weekend. I don't think members should be carrying umbrella stands that weigh 50 pounds. I think that's why we have employees. Again, the door's not working. I heard it from Michelle that North doesn't work. I haven't been to North but once this year. Holiday, I know, has a lot of issues with non-members. People also not wearing swimsuits, which, if you talk to Adam, will mess up the chemicals in the pools. And then you're spending more money on chemicals in the pools. So that's not a good thing either. Garbage, Band-Aids stuck to the pool decks, smoking and vaping done by employees in the pool area. Just furniture being thrown away that wasn't even broken, that other employees have pulled out. I'm not getting this information from the back of my head. People contact me, people come up to me and tell me things. I'm just spreading out what I know, what I've been told. I can't help people talk to me. It's just in my nature. But I agree, Michael, we need to get that pooling back. And as far as guests go, I agree with Penny. There's exceptions to every rule with an elderly person, and not saying you're old, Penny, because I love you, that, 80-year-old grandma doesn't need to be bringing her kids out. As long as we know they're going to behave, that's why we have numbers, and the numbers are attached to a member. When a member, we have that member number, they're misbehaving in the pool, we know who to go back to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Trail.
Good evening.
My name is Brian Troll. My wife and my daughter and I both live on Airport Drive. And I'm here in reference to some comments or ideas that were presented last meeting. It was mostly to do with the user fee that was talked about. And I don't know if that's still going to be addressed or if it's still going to take place, Mr. Pino. The Futures 2.0 committee is no longer valid, I suppose, from what you said. So part of that's not going to be relevant to what I had a question about. It was asked at the June 10th meeting, Mr. Pino, wasn't sure how for the last 25 to 50 years that the users of the airport were not charged a fee for using the airport. It's my belief that that fee is from the POA fees that we pay every year. There's not a whole lot of upkeep that goes on at the airport. It gets mowed. The taxiways, the runways get mowed 12 to 14 times a month, a year. The FBO area gets mowed. But other than that, there's really no upkeep. I believe in 2022, the lawns were trimmed on the taxiways. The occasional windsock is purchased and replaced, but if you pay more than $125 for that, you're paying too much. Windsocks don't cost that much. Talking about fees also, I was curious, and it's more of a rhetorical question, but if you're going to charge the members, as I like to say, in good standing, who pay their dues, even though our covenants have expired since June of 2021, if you're going to create another fee, a usage fee for us to pay, or the people who use a walking track by the club going to be charged a fee? They're using the amenity. Do they get charged that fee? The POA members in good standing who use the swimming pool, are they going to be charged a separate fee? They're using the amenity. I would think not, and they shouldn't be. The people that use the cart path for a hiking trail or a bicycle trail, are they going to get charged a user fee? And there's more questions. I believe I saw there was a 30-minute question and answer period after the meeting tonight. Does anyone know if that's still in effect?
We haven't planned to stay, but we could probably sit around and chat a little bit. You're asking some very difficult questions that there aren't easy answers to.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we can talk later.
Okay. How much time do I have left?
27 seconds.
Oh, okay. According to the financial summary for this year, in May of 2025, up until May of 2025, the amenity that had the lowest expense was the airport. The lowest expense was the airport at $10,687. The second lowest was the community center at $42,694. So 4 times less than what was spent on the community center has been spent on the airport. But yet we still want to pay. I'll stop.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude to interrupt you, but you've had your 3 minutes. There are a lot of really hard questions and lots of not easy answers, but we can talk later, too.
Okay.
Thank you very much for bringing those points up. Next.
Mary Ann Trail.
Oh, you should have said, and then you'd have to get...
Sorry, I didn't know if we could wait till he called.
So he's going to be you, huh?
Thank you. I probably only have 3 minutes. But going back to that, so 4 times more money has been spent on the community center than the airport. And like I said earlier, not a whole lot is required at the airport. Not a whole lot gets done at the airport. The runway marking is hideous. We don't need those. We don't need them. We know where we're landing and taking off from. But if people are coming into the airport, it doesn't look really good. Also, going back to the financial summary, I found this very interesting. Marketing year-to-date for 2025 is $82,000 has been spent on marketing. And again, maybe a rhetorical question, but how much of that $82,000 was to promote the airport? My family and I have been here for 5 years now. I love it here. We're excited that we found a house that had a hangar and we had our own runway. It was great. We still love it here. But not a whole lot is being done and has not been done to promote the airport. And I feel more could be done. It's like we're kind of forgotten about, which in some ways is a good thing. It's quiet down there. We don't have a whole lot going on. We enjoy it. But anyways, I just found it interesting. $82,000 and probably very little of that has gone to promote the airport. $0 for any capital projects for the airport. And again, it's just, go back to the user fee. If you have, and you do, I believe all but maybe one active flyer that uses the airport, is still currently paying their POA dues, even though they have expired since June of 2021. We know we have a very good amenity. We will keep paying. But I think it's ludicrous that we have to maybe pay another user fee. Is that user fee going to go back to the airport? Is it going to go to any upkeep on the airport? Again, no answers. And President Cicelo, you made a very good comment last time. In part, you stated it would be very unfortunate for all if mistakes lead to extended legal challenges. And I agree with that. That's very, very, very good advice. So on that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. They're really important. We appreciate them.
The final speaker, Thomas Oberwerken. Please tell me I got that at least close.
Spot on. Just have to say 4 letters at a time. Close that. Hello.
Hi there.
I'm also on the airport. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, I was talking to some people, my neighbors in the back. You know, online, on the phone, you see all these articles about the popularity of Bay St. Louis, all the Gulf Coast cities just popping. You know, past Christiane, building homes like crazy. Everything is expanding at a very fast rate in our area, which is, it's good, has its negatives, but it's good. And so I really wonder, for long term, I know the airport doesn't have much activity right now, but I mean, in the future that's coming, with all the influx of people, if we made some investment in the airport to make it more attractive, temporary hangars where people could fly, put their plane in, spend the week. You know, there's a lot of Airbnb going on in Diamond Head right now. I had some friends that use an Airbnb for Easter, so they could fly in, you take an Uber or rent a car, you know, and maybe even promote that. And that's another thing, I agree with him. Maybe a little bit of promotion of the airport would utilize that, because, you know, your phone is the whole world, you know, so Diamond Head could, you know, with promotion of the golf courses even more and all of that. And I don't know if getting rid of the airport at this point, when everything is moving at a fast rate on the Gulf Coast, you know, I'm just saying it may be something to think about. And, you know, I think it could be a nice place for people to fly into. Is that my time?
You got a whole minute, yes.
Okay. And then my only other thing I'm going to bring up, this may have been happened in the past, and so just let me know. Was it ever looked at as far as trying to collect dues, or just to try to create income, and thinking outside the box that you would do a sales tax, specifically for Diamond Head? Because I lived in a community that became a city, incorporated, and in order to do schools and all of that, they created a sales tax proposition, 10-year thing for like a half a percent, or a half a penny. You know. But it was only for, you know, it was just for the boundary of Diamond Head. I mean, I'm saying it would be. That's what I'm proposing, as a way to maybe slowly work us off of memberships, and that would be how we would generate. There would just be another form of a membership, but everybody would pay, because everybody that would spend money here in Diamond Head, and even the people coming off the interstate to spend money, would be contributing to it. I don't know if that's allowed in the covenants, but I'm just thinking outside the box of another way to do some makeup on creating the income that you need.
Okay,
All right.
perfect. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you all for your time and your energy and your information. Our next meeting is the election meeting on August 2nd. The next regular board meeting will be August 18th. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second? Gio Russo seconds. All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Thank you.